The next idea is overcoming human suffering. And one of the differences, this is a difference between Christianity and Buddhism, is that the overcoming of human suffering for Christianity is the original sin. The original sin is Adam and Eve. And I won't get into that, but Eve, eating off the tree and the original sin. In Buddhism, it's the fundamental darkness of life, okay? The similarity with suffering that Christianity and Buddhism share are that we believe that there's birth, old age, sickness, and death, and that we can transform those, okay? So the idea is that we can overcome human suffering. For Christianity, it would be through prayer, for example, praying to God. And for Nichiren Buddhists, which you'll hear about later, it's about chanting to overcome your fundamental darkness. And I'm going to move on to facing death. This is an important part, and I just want to briefly say that that's what first developed my interest in Buddhism, was the idea of death. I was raised to believe that, when you die, you're dead, and you're not supposed to, that's it, life's over, and, you don't, worship the dead or anything like that. Well, in learning about Buddhism, the idea is, one of the ideas is what Nancy had talked about, is that Nichiren Buddhism teaches that life is eternal. So we keep going through this cycle of birth and death over and over and over. I'm sure some of you have heard of the word reincarnation. But the good thing is that both religions believe that life is, that happiness in life is temporary, and that life as a human is limited. That's a common belief between the two. So they believe that happiness is temporary, and that life itself is very limited. Okay? Now, here's one point, and this is a difference, which some of you that know anything about Buddhism might know, is that some religions teach that we live only one lifetime. Nichiren Buddhists do not believe that, however. Again, they believe that life, that we have multiple lifetimes, okay? That we're born and we die, and we're reborn and we die and we're reborn, okay? The next aspect is Buddhism explains that our lives possess an eternal and unchanging aspect, and that our causes and effects dictate the circumstances of our birth in the next life. All that means, what that really means, that last part, is that the causes that we make in this life will affect us in our next life, okay? And you've probably heard people, I don't know, I've heard people say things like, can you come back as a bug, or can you come back as an animal, or, questions like that. I can't necessarily say that somebody's going to come back as a bug, but your inner life and how you live will dictate your next life, according to Nichiren Buddhism. And point 4, we believe in human dignity, or dignity of life, which that's really simple in just saying that the Buddha, Shakyamuni, and Jesus, they were actual people. They both really were human. They lived. And one of the components is that when they died, how these religions came about is that when Shakyamuni and Jesus died, people had to have a way of explaining their belief systems to other people. And so that's how, religions kind of got started. So as a result, Shakyamuni, he became the Buddha, and his teachings, he was deified, and Jesus, was also deified. They believed that, Jesus was the Savior, and that's what Christianity believed. To embrace either Shakyamuni or Jesus as teachers demanded that we emulate their behavior. And what that meant was, if you think about it, when they teach about Christianity, what do they teach you? They teach you principles to live your life by, how you're supposed to treat people, those types of things. And to also see the incredible possibility of your life. Christians teach that, and so do Nichiren Buddhists as well. We believe that it is most helpful to our own salvation to continue our personal human revolution. That's Nichiren Buddhism. And, I don't want to get into a whole bunch of terms, but human revolution is a self-examination of your life. Taking control of your life and trying to make better choices, and again, elevating your life condition. So just in conclusion with that, because I know we don't have too much, but in summary, we believe that peace begins with the individual, and that the purpose of our life is to change our heart. Okay? Our heart has to change first. And we believe that Christians and Buddhists Christians have an awakening, and Buddhists have an enlightenment. Okay? And that the potential for life exists in the universe. And Christians call this, they believe in, one of the questions that people say is, do you believe in God? Do Nichiren Buddhists believe in God? And the answer is that there's a law that operates on, that governs the cosmos, that governs the universe. Christians call this God, and Buddhists call this the mystic law. Okay? So that's all for Buddhism and Christianity. And I hope that, again, if you have questions, yes. Well, you weren't here. If you have questions, please write them on your note card. Did you get a note card? And I'll answer them. We'll answer them at the end. Okay? Okay, thank you.